The newest GoPro Hero 12 is the most powerful GoPro yet. It has a new high dynamic range mode, it has a max lens mod 2.0, and it has a longer lasting battery. After filming with it for the past week, I've had a blast, but after looking at the footage, I'm not that impressed. Which makes me wonder, have we reached peak action camera? I just did a review on the DJI Osmo Action 4, and I've been using the GoPro Hero 11 for most of the last year. GoPro sent me the Hero 12 last week, which I've been using for the past week. And after looking at all of the footage from the action cameras I've used in the last year, it's hard to tell the differences from one camera to the next. It should be noted that this video is not sponsored by GoPro in any way. I mean, the color looks incredible, the footage is really stable, and the batteries last all day long. And that makes me wonder, where are we seeing improvements in action cameras if the footage looks the same? Easily the biggest improvement that I've seen among action cameras is user friendliness. And this is an area in which GoPro really impressed me. I'll get into those specifics a little bit later on. If you like these sort of videos, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and thank you for watching. Over the past week, I've taken the GoPro Hero 12 mountain biking, climbing, swimming, and whatever this is. It costs $399, and new for the Hero 12 is an HDR mode that will decrease the intensity of bright light and improve the detail in shadows. There's also a new lens modification, the Max Lens Mod 2.0, which costs $99 and is sold separately. This lens allows up to 177 degrees of field of view and allows for some pretty immersive POV shots from a chest cam, but it can also provide some serious warping because of its fisheye nature. Just look at these shots from inside of the house. Yeah, those lines, those are supposed to be straight. The longer lasting battery doesn't actually have to do with the battery itself. It uses the same battery as the GoPro Hero 11. They just improved the thermal management of the camera itself so that it can record higher quality modes without getting as hot. You can see the improvements on the screen now. There are improvements, they're just not that big. Also new for the camera is wireless audio connectivity, which means you can connect something like AirPods to the GoPro. This would be nice if you have like a full face helmet on, or if you're standing really far away from the camera, but AirPod microphone quality is not going to compare to an external lav mic like I'm using right now. It has vertical capture mode, which sets the aspect ratio natively to 9:16. The GoPro Hero 11 could also do this. You would just use an 8:7 aspect ratio and change it to 9:16 in post. When comparing a GoPro Hero 11 to the GoPro Hero 12, the field of view with 8:7 and 9:16 is the same. So that's just a little bit of a user ability improvement in the 9:16 record mode if you're looking to record vertical video. And last, it has an update to the Hypersmooth. It's now in its 6th iteration, Hypersmooth 6.0. Now, these improvements to the GoPro Hero 12 aren't that big, which makes me wonder, how did we get here? This is one of GoPro's promotional videos. As you can see, the footage is pretty good. There's a lot of detail at night, there isn't much camera shake, everything looks stable, and it's in 4K. Would you be surprised to hear this is GoPro's promo video from the Hero 4? Which launched in 2014, 8 years ago? Yeah, the footage looks good. Now, a lot has changed to action cameras since the GoPro Hero 4 released in 2014. I think main callouts are stabilization has gotten way better. The color that comes right out of the camera looks really nice. There's also been improvements to the slow motion capture quality, with GoPros now offering 4K 120, even as high as 240 frames per second. But as you can see from the footage, the GoPro from 2014 was pretty good. I think looking at this promo video, I think it starts to make sense why the improvements to the Hero 12 feel so incremental, if the footage from 2014 looked that good. The lens mod is cool if you like a really fisheye look, but it does cost $100 extra, and the camera as is already so powerful. Here's some footage of me mountain biking with the Lens Mod 2.0 on, and you can get a lot into the frame, but there is some warping. Here's some footage of the same settings on the camera without the Lens Mod 2.0 on for comparison. Okay, now I'm gonna climb this route with HDR on and HDR off because I think it gives a great comparison. This route is nice and shaded, and then behind it there's a lot of highlights with the sky and the sun peeking out. So it should be a good representation of what this HDR feature can do. The HDR mode works subtly. I did some comparison shots when I was out climbing of the HDR mode on and the HDR mode off. And as you can see in the footage, I was hoping for a little bit more as far as how much those details and highlights would pop and how much you would get out of the shadows. Now, what you miss out on by nitpicking GoPro footage is how far the brand has come in terms of user friendliness. I haven't touched on my favorite feature for the Hero 12 yet, partly because it's not a new feature. But the brand has been making steady improvements to the Quik app and its subscription model over the years, and it's making content creation really easy. I went out and recorded an evening of swimming and cliff jumping in a river in Golden, Colorado. And when we got back to the car, I wanted to show Kelsey the footage of her whipping her hair over her face and it landing in her face. I was able to do this within seconds because the GoPro could transfer footage directly using its own Wi-Fi capabilities to my phone, even when we were out of cell service, and look at the footage back on our phones, all within minutes. It was seamless and it made it really fun to kind of relive those moments. With the Quik app, the GoPro connects via its own Wi-Fi to send footage to my phone. And then from there I can change the aspect ratio, the music, the length, the slow motion, all in the app. The next day when I was out climbing, I perfectly caught the end of the rope and I wanted to send this to one of my friends. So I put the footage into the app and I made a quick little 10-second cut all in the app and I sent it to him, again, all within minutes because it was really easy with this app. Here's a real-time test of this feature that I did at home so you can get an idea of how fast this feature really is. Recording myself on the GoPro, quick little video. Obviously it'll take more time with bigger videos, but this is just an example. 10-second video, finished recording. Now on the app, scan for new footage. Oh, GoPro has new footage. That's already there. I would have showed you that it was transferring, but it happened so quickly. Recording myself on the GoPro, quick little video. Obviously it'll take more time. Years ago, I would have to go home, plug the GoPro into my computer or extract the SD card, upload the footage, which took a long time, and then play it back and like scrub through it, looking for the right moment. And it just made the process that much less enjoyable. It kind of takes you out of the moment. GoPro's subscription, which the editing app is included in, it costs $25 for the first year and it's $50 for every year after that. With that, you get instant editing on your phone and you also get cloud storage. They offer unlimited cloud storage, which is great because, as you know, 4K or 5.3K footage takes up a lot of space on your computer. The GoPro does take a while to upload to the cloud, so I recommend doing that if it's right before bed, just having it run overnight, or just doing something else while the GoPro uploads to the cloud. So have we reached peak action camera? I think when comparing traditional action cameras, we've reached the limit. I think until we see major improvements to the sensor or what kind of lenses you can put on these cameras, the footage from year to year is going to look pretty similar. I do think we've seen some improvements in recent years in some of the more niche offerings in the action camera space, like the Insta360 Go 3, which is absolutely tiny. There's also a lot of options out there when it comes to 360-degree action camera recording, and those are cool. They're just a little bit more specialized than what you would find with the GoPro or the DJI offerings. But when comparing traditional action cameras, I think you have to look at both the camera itself and the adjoining software and editing suite that comes with it. With the GoPro subscription and the Quik app, you get a lot of accessibility at a relatively affordable price point. I know it's annoying to continuously tack on subscription models over the years, but it really improves the user experience of the GoPro. Now, it should be mentioned that the app and the editing software are available for all models of GoPro. So if you have a Hero 10 or a Hero 11 and you're pleased with the footage out of those cameras, which the footage is pretty great out of those cameras, you might be better off sticking with that model instead of upgrading to the 12. But if you're new to GoPro or you've taken a GoPro hiatus, it might be worth checking out the new camera so you can see how easy the editing software is for yourself, because they have come a long way in terms of user friendliness in this camera and the subscription. If you like this review, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you around.